What a freaking idiot. She asked you point blank if you had sex with your friends, and you said no, and now you're acting like, oh, it just slipped my mind. The post-holiday hangover is in full force from food and other things for sure, but we have to keep the energy up for this crazy show because the madness never ends. You have Yosko for some reason getting emotional when they've known each other for about 5 seconds. Joe makes a good decision, or bad decision, however you look at it. Loren finally is kicked to the curb, I hope. Sunny takes a step forward while 10 steps back. And Niles has a new father and mother and has completely disowned his family. But first, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to support the channel, drop a super thanks. I appreciate all the support. Y'all are awesome. Let's get right into it with Vanya, who is showing over and over that she might be a little too needy and Josko might be a little too emotional for some reason.
Fly back to Orlando in a few hours.
Oh, okay.
We did not have sex last night.
I don't believe you. Let's just be real about that. This is like the second time. Now, could it be possible? I guess. I just don't believe her. She says for the second time, we just didn't, we didn't have sex. We just kind of cuddled and got really close. And I feel the emotional connection is really there. Like you have known this person for like 2 seconds. So I don't believe what you're saying, but maybe.
What if he cools off? What if he finds somebody else?
Yes.
What if I'm not a good mom? What if I don't do the right things? There's so many moving parts here that haven't been figured out.
Like, what on earth were you thinking when you bought that bag? But aside from all the other things, you have all these what ifs of, what if you're not a good mom? What if he cools off and runs the other direction? Y'all were all of a sudden getting a little emotional driving up there, and all I can do is can't help but look at the whole situation and say, huh? And I think that's what everyone thinks, and quite possibly shows you as, a little needy, and him as, where the hell did they even get this guy from? Who knows? Production playing a trick? Maybe.
You're so amazing.
What?
Entering my life.
What?
You're the most special person ever.
What?
Extraordinary.
This is like something straight out of middle school, and this guy should not be that emotional in any sense of the word. Because, listen, sure, guys can have emotions. Don't take that and run with it and think I'm not saying a guy can't get emotional at times. Of course, I would argue that in a lot of situations, especially one like this, where you don't even know this person, you really should be a little more stoic and not losing it simply because you're leaving after not even knowing this person at all. Like, people will probably argue love at first sight. No, you don't know who this is. Y'all met on a dating site. Y'all don't know a damn thing about each other. And the first second that he started mentioning a kid, she's already questioning everything. Does that sound like love at first sight, or possibly infatuation with a hint of mental illness? I think I, vote for the latter.
Without physical touch and
Yes,
without seeing each other. So.
Very difficult. Why, dude? Stop wiping away those watery eyes. Are you looking at the light? I think it's more of that. Yeah. And then what?
Both scared. There's a lot of obstacles, but she's the type of person that I could see at a certain point in my life to get married.
Okay, I could see at a certain point in my life to getting married. You just were claiming you were crying and so emotional about leaving that you couldn't even stand it, but now you could see getting married. Isn't there a little bit of, disconnect there on how serious either of them are and what they're saying versus what they're trying to show on camera? What the hell is the disconnect? Is it completely fake? Is it two people that don't really know what they want? Or is it just two people who might kind of have some mental things going on? It could be any or all of the above. Combination of both would not, or combination of all three would not surprise me at all. Of course, then they go on to show that he does come and visit, and they seem to have a good time, but then there's a big thing, then he left, and all of a sudden things have changed. But I'm not going to jump into what it said going into the next week, because we'll get to that then. Joe is really trying to connect with Magda, but she continues to not really trust him, and he kind of makes it worse.
Jill in my life, it's someone that like I said, we've been through a lot, and I don't view it as an ex-girlfriend. I view it as like a sister almost.
That you used to sleep with. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Now, sure, I'm sure some people out there can be friends with their exes, I guess, But at least acknowledge that it might be a little weird that, you know, you did used to sleep with this person and that your current girlfriend, wife, significant other, whatever, might have some kind of issue with it. And you know it's not going to help if you lie about it, because that's what he's dealing with now. The fact that he's probably going to need to tell her, but he hasn't yet, and then he needs to come to terms with when he's going to tell her, because he knows that she's going to get mad. And he's trying to justify it by saying, well, she's more like my sister. Tell that to your significant other who has a little bit of a jealous streak, and she's going to look you dead in your eye and say, you would sleep with your sister? Yeah, dude, you might want to think this one through. You're not the bright, or you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, or the brightest bulb in the bunch, or whatever. You're not that smart.
Morning.
Good morning. How about some damn tongue for your breakfast? This guy, how's he got good morning and just shove his tongue down her throat? All right, whatever. Clearly he's happy about something.
So what if you will
By the way, they admit that they finally slept together, which, okay, fun, but has he told her about the big thing he needs to tell her yet?
disappointed today?
Oh my God, I would have left.
Oh, okay. You would have left.
No, I'd still be madly in love with you. It doesn't matter.
You would be madly in love with her if you were disappointed after the fact, but you were the one that said you can't take the next step forward until you know if you're compatible physically. You don't make any sense. You're a damn liar. Everyone on this show is a liar. Says one thing, then does another, or does one thing, then says another, and then kind of are shocked when it comes back to bite them because, oh, it's for national television, you freaking idiot. Then he decides to finally tell her about the friend, and a few more things come to light.
With her on video,
Oh.
you meet with her.
Yes?
But you didn't touch to tell me you her 7 years ago.
Huh?
And I asked you if you had some past with your friends, and you said no.
What a freaking idiot. She asked you point blank if you had sex with your friends, and you said no, and now you're acting like, oh, it just slipped my mind. This went from a selective, like, leave out to an outright lie. Neither one of them are good, but you just proved that you lied. You could have told her then, yes, I slept with a friend, but you opted not to. Now, is she a little over the top? Yeah, probably. But that might be something that might matter to somebody, and that's okay when it's your significant other, your wife, or whatever. It might matter to them that you're hanging out with people you slept with. Just makes sense. And instead, you're caught in a lie, and then she uses that to not only say, hey, you lied to me, but to say, oh, it basically would have been okay if you just were upfront and honest. Now, is that true? No, of course not. She would have never been okay with it. That's pretty clear. But now she's playing you and making you think, oh, well, had you just been honest, and you won't have the chance because she might break up with you before that. You are both dumb.
Boyfriend, he lived in Germany, and then when I moved there, everything was changed.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He
What
lied,
happened?
he cheated on me a lot of times.
Ah,
My friends see him with his ex at the club.
and you're dumb too. You know why? Because you knew the guy for a couple months and you decided to move to Germany thinking that would be a good idea. But now you want to say like, oh, he hurt me so bad. Why the hell would you meet someone and just move to Germany? Seems like there's a pattern for you too. Do either one of these two seem like that they're emotionally mature enough to be in a relationship at all? Or maybe they need to work on themselves a bit before they bring someone else in to share their life with, because neither one are ready.
I quit my job. I opened to move to America for him, to have a family, be married, and I don't think he's committed the same way like.
That was dumb because you quit your job to move to America to start a family and be with someone that you didn't even know. And now you're trying to say that that's your commitment? No, that's kind of an obsession. That is something that is red flag, I would say, for many people, which is why I say you're both dumb and you're both not ready to be in a relationship. Y'all want to actually commit and be in someone's life, share a life with, share a family, all these things, and have a fulfilling life? Then work on yourself. Be able to contribute instead of have nothing but lies and immaturity, because that's all y'all have. So I don't see it going anywhere at all. Niles and Matilda, the day has finally come. They're finally going to get married, which was not supposed to happen. And Niles actually had a moment of clarity saying, I think I need to wait and I'm not getting married on this trip. But of course he caved, gave in. And here we are with another couple who maybe they really care about each other, but in reality, they're not really ready for the future and what's to come.
If I'm being honest, Why should I have to decide between my happiness and my parents' love and my parents' support?
You don't have to choose both. You can have your relationship. You don't have to do what your parents say. You are an adult. Is it always the best thing to just go against what they say when you're an adult? No, because they might actually be giving you some good advice because they know you. They might actually be saying, hey, this isn't right. You're making this decision. Sorry, we're not going to be a part of this decision. We don't have an interest in meeting your, significant other, wife, whatever. Now, it might be a little harsh and maybe they soften over time, but it also could be a pattern with Niles. I sense there's more to him and things he's done in the past than let on, especially since he lied about certain things in the beginning. So there's definitely more to that story. Hopefully they can find some way to reconcile, but it's going to be on both of them, not just him simply saying, look, well, I don't have to make, why should I have to? Why should I have to do this? I want to be with Matilda. Okay, that's fine. But you should also try to foster that relationship with your parents, and maybe they soften over time. But we'll see. All we see is what's on camera, and Niles has proven to be a liar in the past too.
I'm ready for action.
That was kind of creepy. The stare, just like he didn't know what to say. I'm talking to myself, but I'm not sure what to say, but ready for action. Niles, I don't think you are ready for action, buddy.
We says a woman with a vagina.
Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Ark.
To the anus.
Mr. Ark is telling the truth about how things need to be done in the bedroom. Niles, listen, only sex, certain kind of way. No, none of that nasty stuff. No. Only sex the way I say. Well, he did adopt him as his de facto child, and Niles is now steadily calling them mom and dad, so that's interesting. I'm pretty sure he owns Niles at this point, but, Niles needed some guidance. Is it the best guidance? Probably not, but Niles did need some guidance.
Sleep. I will sleep today. Because I'll get what I want.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Also kind of creepy, but she's going to sleep today because she'll finally get what she wants. She wants some of that Niles loving. Yeah, buddy. And he's like, okay, Matilda, I will give you what you want, Matilda. Listen. Are they meant to be together? I don't really think so, but they're one of the more entertaining couples. I will give them that.
This is supposed to be the way things are. I have my wife. I have my video games. I have my laptop.
What?
I have everything I need.
I have my wife, I have my video games, I have my laptop, I have everything I need. Oh, I'm sorry, Niles, you didn't mention you have your Cheetos, and you have your Mountain Dew, and you... what is he... Where are his priorities? Well, at least he put her first, I guess, but after that is simply video games, your laptop, that's it? Nothing more? Niles, buddy, you got to get some hobbies or something, my man. I mean, something's got to give here, because let me tell you something. That lady, if she's going to, you think you're just going to have your video games up there on that level, good luck with that, because she's going to bust in while you're playing and throw your controller against the wall, and you're going to say, Matilda, you broke my video game, Matilda, and that's where we're going to be at with that. So you might want to get that in check now and have, I don't know, your certain set time to play your games, otherwise... it's going to be miserable for you. Now, Loren and Faith are in an interesting spot currently because, well, after the whole immigration thing didn't exactly go as planned, Loren started to act like, well, I don't want to say Loren started to act like a jackass because Loren just is a jackass, but really started to show it even more, and apparently it was the straw that broke the camel's back for Faith.
I was finally feeling ready to move my relationship with Loren forward.
Were ya?
But after we left the immigration lawyer, his personality changed.
Yes. Do you know why? Because he didn't get what he wanted and he's using you. Or was trying to, but it didn't work out in his favor.
I think she perceived stabbing my hand with the utensil as aggressive or destructive or towards her in some way. But really, I was just fidgeting with the utensil.
Maybe so, and I think that there was a bit of an overreaction because Loren was just taking the knife and just hitting it like this. It was a butter knife, and Faith just kind of ran up out of the room. But it was more than that. That was just one of many things. Do I think that Loren was going to stab Faith or something? No, I don't. But I do think that it was a completely different change or a completely different personality, including him crushing cans on his head and just kind of acting like a bro instead of acting like you care about the person. So I definitely think it was there, but the whole knife thing and Faith saying, there was a fear there. I don't necessarily buy that. I just think it was one of many things.
It makes me feel like he never cared for me, and maybe he was just using me to stay in the Philippines.
Yes. What was your first clue when he said, hey, maybe I can marry your mom because I can't marry you? And now all of a sudden it's like, well, I think he was using me. Yeah, listen, at least you have some sense to say that now. But the signs were there. My God, you didn't go 2 seconds without having a red flag. Could it possibly be, I don't know, the STDs, the sleeping with multiple people, not having a job, cheating on you constantly, flirting with other people? Just take your pick of what is a red flag of someone who doesn't really want to be in a relationship, but just wants something else out of it.
I don't think I've done a single thing to make Faith believe that I'm a dangerous person.
Get an STD, then be willing to sleep with Faith without even saying that. Now, I get it. The argument is, oh, but he didn't know because he finally decided to get checked but then he admitted that he was having discharge for days. Mark my words, that fool would have been sleeping with Faith without any kind of remorse. So, yes, you would actually put Faith in danger and would not care. So, the whole knife thing, yes, I don't think you were going to stab Faith, but you definitely would put Faith in danger.
And that scares me. You act like weird,
Yes,
it's too late now,
all the time.
because it's over.
Okay, well, like I said, at least Faith had some sense. It's over now. The signs were always there. And you saying that Loren was acting weird? Loren was acting weird the whole damn time. Like he was just a manipulative fool that no one should have any part of. No one.
I'm literally back to doing nothing. This is
Yeah.
nothing to go back to.
Well, that's your comfort level because you don't do anything productive in your life. You have 3 jobs but can't pay for anything. And of course it's come out, or so I've heard, that you have kids and you're not paying child support for. So that's your own damn fault. You want to go couch surfing, sleep with anything that has a pulse, get all kinds of STDs. You do not contribute to society. And quite frankly, you're going to end up homeless and going to be right where you deserve.
But I'm going to be stuck in the U.S. Why am I going to reach out to her? I can't get back there. There's no hope.
Yeah, because you're broke. You don't work.
And no matter what happens, I just want her to be happy.
Oh, do you? Oh, let's muster up a tear. Can we get one? Oh, we're going to squint one eye. We're going to act like we're crying. This fool cannot even muster a single tear. Closing one eye, trying to look at the light, can't get a single tear. The manipulation is in full effect, straight to the end, and he is a piece of garbage. He's better off going back to the United States, crashing on his friends' couches, who will give him the time of day for some reason, continued on, but ultimately he's going to end up kicked out on the street. And you know what? He is not a productive member of society. He's going to be right where he deserves because he doesn't even try, and everything is everyone else's fault. So, bye-bye. Now, Sunny and Veya seemed to have a swift end when she said she was not willing to convert, and he said, well, basically, I can't be with you then. So that was interesting, but was it really the end?
The situation she put me in, that she's not going to convert to my religion.
The situation she put him in. You mean the situation that you weren't even upfront and honest about, that it really mattered or that it was a big deal? And why would she think that? Why would she think it was a big deal? You don't really live by the tenets of your religion. Now, what does that mean? Not a whole lot. I mean, most people, with whatever religion, they're not living so strict by their religion. That's just usually the case. But he wants to act like certain things matter, like you converting, but other things don't, like, I don't know, going to the club and drinking. So there's a little bit of disconnect there, and now you want to make it seem like it's her fault and the position she put you in. Look, I'm no super fan of Veya because she's a little crazy and she's off the chain sometimes and really self-centered. But this is you, bro.
I don't think I could find what we have again. So we have something pretty special.
Oh, do you? Can't find what you have. And by the way, you can't find it, but look at listen, you can find what you have. You don't know what you're talking about. Y'all have been distant this whole time. Y'all fight all the time. Y'all break up all the time. You could definitely find someone else if you really want to. You know what bothers me? I'm skipping that. I've mentioned that before. I'm skipping that. You know what bothers me more? The complete difference in her face right here. How late after the show was shot was these confessionals shot? Because she lost some weight in her face. That's pretty clear. She wasn't even big, but she wasn't even chunky before or anything like that. And it looks like she's had some work done. It's completely different. This had to be shot like way after the fact. So it clearly shows the manipulation there, because if they're willing to shoot some of the confessionals and make it seem like it's right after the fact, right after it just happened, but in reality it's months and months later, what else are they willing to do? Of course, that's not going to be a shock to anyone who watches any kind of reality TV, because clearly a lot of the stuff is staged or it's at least set up. But it's just funny when it's so blatantly clear that this did not happen in the moment. Of course, then Sunny decides to say, hey, but I choose you. That's great. I want to be with you, and I'll just have to deal with it. And then he decides to take the next step.
Before you say anything, you must note my sacrifice. You have to be with me forever.
Okay, he's proposing, but he makes sure to say, now before you say anything, you have to know my sacrifice.
No matter whatever.
No matter what, you have to be with me.
Think about it before.
Tells her again to think about it.
Before you say anything. Think about it.
And again, he says, think about it. And she says, I thought about it. I accept whatever. He says like 3 or 4 times, make sure you think about it first. Like, that's not a guy that's really accepting what the situation is. And he goes on to say that that's pretty much him not accepting the situation is. He's just doing something now in the moment, but he hopes that things will change in the future.
You're not gonna tell him,
Huh?
Me and you, we should keep it secret for now.
Say what now? So he's so sure about it that he's going to keep it secret from his family. Now he talks about how he's giving up his whole family. They're not going to accept it. But you propose only to keep it a secret. It doesn't make sense. That's supposed to be you showing I commit to you. So at that point, you're making the decision to let people know. If you keep it secret, there's no point in it. And in his little confession at one point, he even says, hopefully in the future, she'll be willing to convert. That's like the Adnan approach. Like, I'm going to put a shirt on while I'm in the pool, but, I'll tell her that. But in reality, I'm not going to do that. The man doesn't do that. That's that approach. He's still wanting what he wants, which is to convert her, and it might even make their relationship fall apart in the future, but he's basically saying what he has to now to keep the relationship together and throw in a ring and a proposal. It seems like it couldn't possibly go wrong. Everyone is on in a glass house throwing stones, and yet they're throwing stones at each other, but they don't need to throw stones in their own glass house because everyone is about to just shatter, and that's where we're at. And it's ridiculous. None of them belong together. None of them really are going to make it last, but maybe we'll get lucky in one of them. Niles and Matilda, maybe? I don't have confidence in them. I just think that all of these relationships are based on very immature people who are not prepared and not ready to take on what needs to be taken on to make a successful relationship, whether it's the communication, whether it's the finances, whether it's just in general being there for the other. None of them seem to be having all the skills that are really needed. So it's going to take a lot of work that I don't think they're prepared for, but we will see. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you want to show your support, drop a super thanks. I appreciate it. Y'all are awesome, and I will see y'all next time.